Welcome to the Casino Rama Grill Room. I'm Gareth Wheeler, and happy St. Paddy's Day, everyone. Hope you've got your pint of Guinness with you and are ready for a quality show, because joining me from tonight from the WWE, it's not Sheamus, no offense, I wanted some Canadian content on this program. It's the next generation of the Hart Wrestling stable. Joining me is two-thirds of the Hart Dynasty. It's David Hart Smith and Natalya. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thrilled to have you here, of course, with WrestleMania right around the corner, just weeks away, and a lot of hype about this event. But before we get to that event, I just want to talk about you guys. We've had a lot of wrestling greats on the show. Ted DiBiase was on, Junior was on a couple months ago. Edge has been on this program, which is really cool. But what I dig about you guys is your roots in wrestling families. I mean, Natalya, you're a third-generation wrestler. So essentially, were you just thrust into this industry without a choice?
Well, let me just correct you. I'm a third-generation diva.
No, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. But, well, I'm not kidding. But, no, I've been surrounded by this my whole life, and, really it was my choice, but it's something that, just like I said, I've been around it, since as long as I can remember. So it's something it's sort of evolved for me, and it's kind of taken on a life of its own. And being the first female in the Hart family to actually kind of compete in the squared circle and to be in WWE and to be, representing, I guess, is pretty surreal.
See, to me, there'd be a lot of pressure that comes along that, if that's the right way to put it. I mean, I talked to Ted about this when he was on the show. You got to live up to a lot of expectations and that family name. So, David, were you feeling the pressure?
Yeah, I felt the pressure, but I love pressure.
Just
I love
you
pressure.
Thrive off it, right?
Yes.
And that's the popular sentiment amongst a lot of people. But still, when your name is tied with other certain names, and some of the greats. I mean, you're the daughter of Jim the Anvil Neidhart, if you weren't familiar there, out in TV land, and of course the son of Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldog, one of the best wrestlers that really the industry has ever seen. Right. So these are just some minor names.
For us, I think we've talked about this before, but I think the most pressure that we get is from ourselves, because myself, David, we really have tremendous work ethic, and we work hard. We never really cut corners. We always want to be our best, because not only are we representing ourselves, but we're representing our family. But, so we put the most pressure on ourselves because I don't want to let them down. Right. But I have standards for myself as well. And when people see Natalya, they also think about, Bret Hart, Stu Hart, Jim Neidhart. So I can't just go in there and, bring a B game. And
you guys did it the hard way. I mean, this wasn't earned. You guys just weren't given your spots. I mean, you guys have wrestled across this country, across this continent, and across the world. Just how difficult was the path to the WWE, David?
It was very difficult. Like I said before, I really like pressure and I really like challenges. So we went through a lot of strenuous training in the dungeon, and with a Japanese trainer named Tokyo Joe out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada, who put us really through the ringer pretty good, and taught us a lot of moves and a lot about life, to be quite honest with you. And we took that, and we wrestled for New Japan Pro Wrestling thanks to him and his hard work, and the hard work he put into us, training us, and the hard work we've done so far to get us to where we're at today.
Which is really cool as well to hear that name, because usually people link you guys to Stu Hart, who's going to be inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame a couple weeks from now. But you always hear stories about the dungeon, just how difficult that process was to get where you guys wanted to be. Tell us a little bit about it. What was it actually like, Natalya?
Well, you bring up Stu Hart, and you bring up the fact that he is going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame this year for WrestleMania 26. That in itself is surreal. But coming from the dungeon, where my grandfather, basically helped so many people hone their craft and become the best in the world at what they do, to kind of quote Chris Jericho, is amazing. And to know that I came from a small group of people that really, to come from a dungeon, if you can survive the dungeon, you can survive anything.
What goes on in the dungeon? Am I allowed to ask, or is it kind of like Fight Club? Well, you don't talk about it. Is it like that?
Yeah, I guess you could, if you could compare it to anything, I guess it would be sort of like Fight Club. Yeah, it wasn't so much about the place. It was what happened down there, and it was a little mat that, you know, the cats would sneak down there in the middle of the night and, you know,
do
their business on
Right,
it. And,
okay.
you know, you'd clean it up sometimes, and sometimes you wouldn't, or, you know, you do the best. But, yeah, and you had some old dumbbells and stuff like that down there. But it was all the hard work and all the hard blood, sweat, and tears that went on down there. And certainly the trainers, you know, my uncles, Ross and Bruce, that helped train the guys down there, that, you know, they did a pretty good job. So
You guys are both still young in the industry. Was there any point along the way thus far you were like, maybe I'm not going to make it, maybe I'm not going to make the big show?
Well, I think that, you know, everybody is human, and they always, you know, they may have their doubts about what they can accomplish, but I think that you can accomplish anything that you put your mind to. And I think for me, I mean, I can only speak for myself, you know, I always knew that I would get to WWE, and sometimes I didn't know how I was going to get there, but I always knew that I would make it here, and that that my hard work and perseverance would certainly pay off, you know. And that's kind of like why I'm so grateful to my grandfather for the work ethic that he instilled in us. You know, he really taught us to be warriors in every way, not just in sports entertainment, but in everything we do in life, to go full force, to go 100%, and then if you put your heart into something, you know, and if you love what you do and it's your passion, you'll never work another day in your life.
Sure, and that's what really has propelled your family and kept you guys in the industry, I'm guessing, because there has been a lot of highs and some lows as well. So when you're looking at the big picture, was there ever anything that went through your mind, David, and you said to yourself, maybe this isn't the career path I want to choose?
You know, a little bit, you know, because you get bumps in the road here and there. You know, I think what it all has to do with is whether or not you want to do it, and whether or not you want to continue and go on forward with it. And that's like with anything in life.
Sure.
You can keep going, or you can quit and go on to something else. So, you know, everybody is like, you know, different personalities, like drops of water from the rain. No two people are the same. So,
and it's the passion that keeps you driving,
it's
right?
the passion that would keep you driving.
Exactly.
So,
like any career, there's bumps along the road, like you said. But,
yeah,
you know, in the WWE, the highs are very, very high. The lifestyle is very demanding, so you got to take with the good, with the bad. We got to take a break. After the break, I want to talk about Bret Hart and his return. It's going to be huge at WrestleMania 26 when he gets in the ring with Vince. We're going to talk to these two about that right after this, inside the Casino Rama Grill Room.